There's a clip for you, Jen.
Hi. What? You know what? I wasn't even recording you, so you're just gonna have to keep that one in your pocket.
Oh,
I know.
Oh,
I have no regrets. Hi, everybody. How's it going? Happy Wednesday. Welcome to DMD RPG, your chaotic source of shenanigans and bricks and apparently clippable, inappropriate comments. Yeah. I am your DM Duchess, JenOfThieves. And welcome to the Midnight World, Snare Island. Episode 2. If you missed episode 1, you can catch up on YouTube if you really wanna. We've got it up there. We've also got 2 other brand new games this season. We've got Daggerheart on Fridays here on Twitch and Wednesdays over on YouTube, and then we've got YouTube exclusive Demon the Fallen, premiere of which will be up online and available as Ashley Smarks tomorrow, Friday. No, tomorrow's not Friday. I wish it was. That'd be cool. Can we skip Thursday? If you want more of us, we are also available over on the Discord. Come say hi. Hang out with us. That is where we vote for games, talk about games, arrange games, sass about games, plus some other stuff like pets and cooking and wrestling. And if you really like us, like really like us, like love us, like us, we also have a Patreon. You can show your support for $1 a month, and all of that goes directly to the channel instead of to Twitch. But if you're subscribed on Twitch, we love you too. And thanks to DM Daddy for typing, because once again, I still can't type and talk at the same time. What did you redeem? Hurt. All right. We are joined tonight by the stunning cast of characters. We have Ashley the Everything as Rebecca, Mitch as Brayden, Chi Chai Tea as Mara, Chef as Rook, and the Loose Shuck as Melissa. Cool. Recaps. Everybody remember what happened last week?
unfortunately, yes.
Unfortunately, yes. Well, then we're gonna start with you.
So, we all got on a plane. The plane crashed. Actually, from the sounds of it, it got ripped apart. And we got thrown. The 5 of us survived. We haven't found anyone else. Chef got injected with some drugs. And then we all had to debate later after stream about how much drugs was too much drugs.
All right, perfect. Mitch, Brayden, what happened last week?
The plane crashed. Brayden, made a child's final moments, full of anxiety and fear. I don't want to say I enjoyed it, but it was pretty funny. Then struggled climbing up this, I think it was like a cliff, wasn't it? There was like a slope on the next side of the beach using like quicksand. Got up, had a concussion, passed out. And Melissa was the one that helped him back up. So far, he barely trusts Melissa, but more than everyone else that he knows nothing about. And then it rained blood.
This is a perfect cohesive group already. It's great. Hey, Mara, what happened?
I took Rebecca with me to try to find somewhere not close to a big pillar of fire for us to hide in. So we found a cave.
Found a cave. Nice. Rook, what happened?
we love that cave. It's a very, very good cave. It's a make the owie stop cave. But yeah, I woke up with a large piece of sheet metal inside of me where it shouldn't be, and parts of my leg outside of me where it shouldn't be. And somehow we magically found a medical kit in the ocean right next to the plane crash site. I was able to get stabbed with drugs, which, big fan of drugs. And yeah, we got onto the island, managed not to actively die, and yeah, found the happy cave that made the hurt ring go away.
Perfect. And last but not least, Melissa, what happened?
Well, we learned that anatomy is the perfect way to give medical advice. If you want enough episodes, you know enough to be a doctor.
Facts.
Chef on drugs is hysterical. And we have a paranoid old man that insists on staying outside, rain of blood, as opposed to coming into the nice, warm, safe cave.
In the blood.
Yeah.
Just a little blood downpour, nothing to worry about. And so, huddled there, the white noise of a bloody downpour outside of the cave, you eventually fall asleep. You didn't think you could. I mean, it's a weird situation, but you'd had such a long day. And there was nothing else you could do about it besides wait out the rain. As you sleep, you dream. Every single one of you has the same exact dream. At first it's dark and cold. And then again you're falling straight from the sky. They're shaking and screaming. You hear the whoosh of wind past your ears, the roar of flames, the screaming of children, of women, of men, your own screaming. And suddenly everything is pain and broken and dark again. But from the darkness, all of a sudden you see a clawed, scaly hand reach out to grab you. When you wake, the rain outside is mostly clear. The sun is peeking over the horizon. And the rain at some point during the night has just begun rain. You are still fully healed. But as your heart pounds in your chest, the rush of adrenaline waking you up far faster than you think you should. Everyone, at a minute.
A whole minute.
1 whole minute.
Morning.
What do you do?
You go find a bush and piss behind it.
There's plenty of them.
Brayden's taking one of them old man 70-second pisses.
So I'm gonna ask this, and this may be the lack of drugs talking. Wasn't my leg broken yesterday?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and you had a gash on your side.
Yeah. I vaguely remember that, and yet I can see what appears to be a straight and fully healed leg. Which should normally take several weeks, months. Thoughts?
I don't know. I mean, maybe that green light that was coming from my chest healed you while I was checking your wounds after you
Yeah.
started freaking out.
Your tit was glowing.
It was, in fact, it was glowing green.
I'm not an expert on science or anything, but I have yet to see a glowing green anything on a body that did not indicate something really, really bad was happening. So, do we have explanations?
Do you feel bad or do you feel better?
Oh, that crotchety bastard's still here?
I don't have any
Yes,
explanation
he
for
is.
that.
I feel better. I'm just
Can you
confused how. I'm sorry, Lou, go ahead.
can you walk on the leg?
Uh, Let me get out of here where it's tall enough and I'll try. Scoot, scoot, scoot. Stand. Do I feel like any twinges or anything?
You feel perfectly fine.
No, I've
I've heard of a cult over in the Americas. And they believe this guy had some healing light that came out of his fingertips. They're stuff spouting some stuff about let the white light shine through you and all that. Yeah, at the end of the day, it was all a bunch of hogwash. This seems real. We should definitely look for explanations, but it's not quite on the priority list. We need some water. And I don't think that beach is gonna help us out.
well,
Well,
it is still
someone-
raining. Grab some large leaves and let's collect some rainwater.
In what?
Begins doing.
Oh,
In this handy coconut cup, which I magically have. I don't know.
You look around.
We could try-
Give me intuition, vigilance.
Woo!
Hole one.
Well, was that also for intuition and vigilance, Midge?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, Mitch, you look around. You don't immediately see anything, A, that you could funnel water into, or B, that would be large enough to actually catch water. Like you think Rook might be imagining. The leaves on the trees here, they are thick, they are dense, but they're not large and pliable like banana leaves are. Maybe if you had something to catch water in, you could like set it down under a branch and the water would roll off and eventually there would be enough in the vessel to drink. But there are 5 of you?
You saw a pillar of smoke somewhere, right? There's gotta be some
Yeah.
wreckage around it.
You can tell that whatever it was that was on fire is no longer on fire. You don't even so much as see a lingering smog in the skies. And Rook,
Uh,
you look around, you see pretty much the same thing, but also you notice something strange just off behind Melissa. It's like a worn beige sort of bag just tucked up behind her back.
do I remember if that was there last night?
Not
I
that you
was pretty
remember,
drugged, so okay.
but it was night, so maybe.
Well, in that case, let's take stock. What do we all have with us?
I came on
Clothes
to
on my
this
back.
island with just the clothes on my back, like,
Yeah.
like Rebecca
Yep.
just said.
So what's in that bag?
What bag?
Points at bag.
What?
Melissa, you turn and tucked
Look behind myself.
just in the small of your back. You swear you probably would have noticed it if you had slept on top of it, because it would have been uncomfortable. It's not huge, kind of the size of like a standard makeup bag, and you recognize it. It is the bag in which you packed your shampoos, your conditioners, your soap, toothbrush, toothpaste. You didn't have that when you got in here, but there it is.
Whoever it is, I'm gonna leave it alone. It ain't mine.
So it's mine, but I didn't have it when I came in the cave last night. I'm not sure how the hell it got here.
We were all pretty beat up.
At her saying that she didn't have it when she came into the cave last night, I'm immediately checking my pockets for my phone. Because I threw my phone into the water at the beginning of last session.
Your phone's still missing.
Okay. Like, just making sure items aren't magically appearing.
All pretty banged up and beat up. You probably just didn't notice it until now. I wouldn't blame you either. We're just in a plane crash.
No, I think I'd realize if I was having a bag, if I was holding one.
I think you would have noticed
conscious
she was here.
I mean, we were arguing about whether or not to go for the med kit somewhere on the beach. So I think I noticed a bag in my hand or on me.
Tell you what. Is the inside of that bag wet? Like, is it wet? And if so, is it salt water, blood, or rain?
Bone dry.
Completely dry. And I'm not sure how that's possible. Because I got hit with the killer wave. Yes.
And you ostensibly fell from 30,000 feet. Everything in there is exactly as you packed it. Nothing's been spilled. Nothing's been crushed. Exactly as you remember.
Is it dirty at all? Is it like outside pristine?
The backside where it was laying against the ground is a little dirty. But where it was kind of tucked up against you, clean.
Okay.
Yeah, I got nothing. I don't know.
Again, not blaming. Very curious as to what the hell.
Yeah, me too.
Because, yeah, the hell. All right. The crotchety old bastard still has a good point, though.
Maybe you've got a secret admirer that's been following us.
Through a plane crash?
There were a lot of us on that plane. And I mean, we survived.
Well, the prospect of there being others isn't surprising. But if you were somewhere else on this landmass, I'm assuming this is an island. And given our course and heading, I don't know of very many islands this could be in the Atlantic, so I think the place everybody would try to find would be where the wreckage was in the fire last night, right?
Probably.
I think that's a good place to start. I would like to get my journals. Good 30 years of work has been put into those.
You should have really digitized it and back it all up to the cloud.
To the what?
How would that help us?
Well, right now in this situation, it wouldn't. But I mean, and he just said he had 30 years worth of work in those journals. I mean, that's a lot of shit to lose.
Pretty sure. Nope. Not supposed to say things like that. Therapist told me we don't say things like that. Okay.
Oh, better out than in. What you thinking, kid?
Jen, to describe this cave and area we're in, I'm assuming we're somewhere like up on the side of a mountain based upon your previous descriptions.
It's not so much a mountain as it is like a steady incline, grassy and woodsy in a way that's kind of transitioning to sand because you were on your way back toward the beach, toward the cliffs. But it's not a full
Okay.
mountain.
So looking uphill, what does the top look like? Is it stone? Is it covered in trees?
The higher you get, the more the grass and the trees transition to just rocks and sand.
Okay. Well, downhill seems the best way since it doesn't look like there'd be much to find, eat, or drink up there.
We could see the rest of the island from up there.
Also a good point.
Here's a question.
What?
Does anyone know what vegetation would look like that would be safe to eat?
Yes, anything that comes out of the produce box.
Well, I've got plenty of notes on it in my journals, but offhand I couldn't tell you.
I honestly
I
don't know
could
if I would know anything from
try.
Grey's Anatomy.
Don't think Crazy Anatomy is going to help us here.
Probably not.
More of the edible plants that are in my journals are more like herbs. Used more for ritual purposes, but I mean, if we found them, we could eat them.
Or use them to spice something. It's what I do, okay? So tell you what, we seem to have two goals. Do we want to split up? One team go uphill, one team go downhill?
Melissa and I could go check the wreckage uphill.
Mitch, I think the
Wreckage
wreckage was
uphill?
downhill.
That was downhill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uphill,
Okay.
back toward the beaches. Downhill, back toward the wreckage.
Can we see the burning plane parts in the water from here?
From here, no.
Okay.
Well, I will change what I said. Melissa and I could go up the hill for a better vantage point. If you want to go with me, Melissa.
Sure. It'll give us at least an idea of what we could be dealing with in terms of where they are and what's around us.
I think I'll join for uphill as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Rookie,
If
wanna
you're
go
up
back?
there,
Becca,
What?
I was just gonna say you're gonna go to the wreckage, I assume.
Yep. That's what I was just about to
Yeah.
ask, was if Rook wanted to go with me to the wreckage or go
I'll go.
foraging.
well,
See if you can find my hat for me. I'd be
You got a hat?
really grateful.
while you guys are uphill, see if you see anything in the clouds, i.e., contrails of other planes, any sign of other ships, something that we could signal to let them know that we're still here. Because with that fire out, they don't have a direct way of knowing where we are. And I'm not sure how far we are off of plane's flight path, but we need to be ready in case they send rescuers. To at least be able to signal them in some way.
Hey Jen, what's the temperature kind of feel like? Does it feel like it would be the Atlantic, or does it feel more tropic?
It's hard to tell because it's got the heavy humidity of somewhere more tropical. But you don't really see like what you would expect to see in a tropical climate. I mean, for instance, there's no giant banana leaves to catch water in, no coconut trees. They just seem like trees. But it didn't get terribly cold at night. And it's not terribly cold now.
Are these like evergreens and coniferous trees, or are they more like maples and oak trees?
Where you are right now, roll me acumen and wit. And I don't think you have an aptitude or specialty that would go with this, if I recall.
But acumen and wit.
Mm-hmm.
Got a 0.
I got a 2.
I don't understand how I got a 0, but I got a 0.
Because there were probably some stress dice up in there.
Yep.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yep, those can
forgot
take away
those existed.
successes.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Mitch with 0, Rebecca, Rook.
What was it? Acumen and what?
Wit.
Wit.
Sorry. Wit.
And
Okay.
you might have an aptitude or a specialty.
Yeah.
Not that it mattered right then. Holy shit.
Mm-mm. Wow.
Holy shit.
Do you want to
Mm.
do you want to perhaps spend some seconds there to
Sure.
reroll some
Yeah.
dice? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You only had one fail dice.
yeah.
I mean, your stress dice you can't re-roll if I remember right.
You can add 6 to remove all stress dice.
Can. It's 6 seconds, by the way.
Mm-hmm. 6
Yeah.
seconds.
That's fine.
If you'd like to do that to basically negate the botch, I will allow it.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
looks like
So
we won
Brooke, Mara, Rebecca, the trees around you look like the ones that you're used to. Mara, you've been on vacation before. It's like tropical locations, like Fiji. This is nothing like Fiji. Rebecca, they look like kind of the trees in your backyard. So you don't think you've gone too close to the equator, which is probably good. You weren't supposed to.
No. No, we weren't.
I mean, I think we'd be somewhere in the Bahamas, but that's the only islands chain I can think of anywhere near our flight path.
We're definitely not in Fiji.
No.
Definitely not in Kansas anymore.
I'm glad we could narrow that down.
They look like the trees that were in my backyard. Like, but I didn't live on what we're assuming is an island. Unless
Well,
you
once
count-
they go up, they'll be.
I don't know if you count
Once they
it
go
either.
up and take a look. Yeah.
So what are you doing?
So where should we meet back?
Here, probably?
I'd say the cave is a good meeting point. We all know where it is.
Okay. You want to say? I guess that would be solar noon.
Oh, what time does it look like right now?
It looks
Sun
like the sun is just starting to come up. Who knows exactly what time that is? There's enough light to navigate and walk around, but you've got probably a full day.
Yeah.
In the interest of giving all of us time, let's say we meet back here at High Sun, and then compare notes, and we'll make a plan from there.
Works for me.
Sounds good.
All right.
Sounds
If
good.
we run into troubles, do we have a way of signaling each other other than shrieking our heads off?
Does anyone else have a weird little power thing that might be able to use? We might be able to use as an indicator.
First.
Like I'm fairly certain a glowing tit is not going to be a good indicator.
Oh, I don't have any powers. Anyone else? Melissa, are you hiding something from us?
You think I just have everything? Honestly, what, you think I have a flare gun on me? Because I have my my makeup bag and everything?
Well, oh, you're the only one with any of your stuff.
I'm not sure I like your tone. What exactly are you implying?
While they're having this little argument, Jen, I'm going to get out of the cave, stretch, crack joints, and then just start walking off down towards the wreckage.
Okay.
Melissa has her stuff, and the rest of us don't. Why
Are
would I
you
ask
somehow-
you if you had something if you don't have any of your stuff?
Also, I'll be right back.
It's
I'm gonna
more
get some more
the
drink.
"are you hiding" thing comment that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and I'm not sure I like where your head's at.
Oh, I was just poking fun.
Mm-hmm.
I look over at Melissa.
Well, I mean, I do remember seeing you off by yourself before the rest of us even got out of the water. Maybe you grabbed a couple things. Maybe you and stuff. You were a bit possessive about your firewood.
That was the plan, yes, but I didn't find anything.
Ah, so your plan failed, and then what? We're your fallback?
I kind of felt bad if I would have just hauled off without you.
Can I insight check that somehow?
I mean, sure.
Is there an insight check?
I'd say intuition wit.
Okay.
So, Chef, while you're rolling, I brought this, guys, just for the joke of it. It's literally a can that just says drinking water on it. In a nondescript white can.
Oh!
Nope, he's definitely telling the truth. He was waiting on you.
And because of that social thing I have, that's a minute.
Not only here we go. Not only is he telling the truth, like he's probably a little mad at you for even asking.
I'm sorry, I gained 2 minutes. If I was more worried about his opinion, I'd probably be more upset. Right now, it's just the normal kind of upset for me.
I mean, I may be a little gruff, but I ain't gonna just abandon people. Not if y'all already made the trouble of introducing yourself and coming back for me, waking me up.
Maybe we should try to be a little bit...
I was just gonna have we all just start doing what we said we're gonna do, but
I was going to say, as my therapist says, let's be a little bit more conscious of our tones, okay? And then proceed to walk down the hill.
Okay. We've got Rebecca and Brooke heading down the hill.
Oh, Rebecca already left
Yeah,
while the argument was happening.
it's in process. Like I said, I think it was like, 10-15 minute walk. So he's a few minutes behind. Brayden, Mara, Melissa, you guys are left alone in the cave.
Guys want to head out?
Yep, let's go.
Yeah, I'm up. Yeah.
All right. Team up, I guess. We'll do team up. The higher you get on this little hill, the more sandy and unstable it gets. So if everyone could give me a coordination reaction roll.
A 2.
Mitch, you keep your footing. Old knees and all. Melissa, you're good. Mara, you're good. Perfect.
So we're walking up the hill. Why did I choose to go uphill? Don't even have any tobacco to smoke. This is hell.
And as you say that, actually, the trees are getting more and more sparse, but you see the shine of something that catches your eye, Brayden.
Hey, what's that over there? You two see it too, or am I going crazy?
It's small, kind of nudged in where a branch meets the trunk of a tree. Do you head toward it?
I'm gonna go check it out. Anyone coming with?
Sure, I'll go along.
Yeah, I'll follow.
You don't really have to veer off course very much. It's almost like it was right exactly in your way. But as you reach the bottom of this very specific tree and you crane your neck up to look at this very specific branch, if you squint, Brayden, you're pretty sure that's your tobacco pipe.
Hey, would you look at that? She's right up there. Can I reach it?
Not from where you are. You'd have to climb up the tree a little bit. Maybe 9,
I got this bum
10,
shoulder and a
12
messed up
feet.
back. Looking up at it. Well, I guess I can try. I'm gonna try and climb the tree.
Do I see anything around to, like, assist with the climbing?
Like what?
Any, like, pieces of wood or anything that might be sturdy enough to at least give a little bit of a boost?
There's pieces of wood that look like they have fallen off of trees. But there's not, like, a ladder or anything sturdy enough and hefty enough that you could, like, pole vault him up there.
Does the pipe look like it's, like, loose enough that, like, if we threw wood at it, it could knock it down?
It's hard to tell because it's right there where the branch, the trunk meet, and it looks like it's kind of wedged in there. Maybe if you found something heavy enough, you could knock it out. But you also might break it.
Okay. Not gonna risk breaking it with his attitude.
Yeah, I could try to give him a.
And try to give him a boost.
I'll help with that.
Yeah.
We're just gonna do this cheerleader style.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Then I'm going to have each of you roll. Mitch, I'm going to have you roll coordination reaction. Mara and Melissa give me strength toughness. As each of you grab a leg and hoist.
How many seconds can I spend to make that better?
Up to 6, based on the little seconds menu.
I'm gonna spend 6 seconds.
For what?
I can re-roll dice, right?
You
Or
can.
add dice to it.
Mhm.
All right. Is there a tab to click for that on here?
No, you're just gonna have
Or
to
do I-
soft roll it.
All right, 1 for each second. If I remember right.
Yep, up to however many dice you rolled, though. So you can't roll more than you
Oh,
originally
so
rolled.
I can only roll another
You
3.
wanted-
All right.
Mhm.
And then I don't know if those are successes or fails. I don't
One
remember.
is. One's a success. Okay. Perfect. So mixed, you like shove a foot in their cupped hands. And on the count of 3, they try to like boost you upward. You grab for the lowest branch you can really get your hands around. And Melissa, you realize immediately that you are doing all the work. Mara has like a foot and she's like holding it, but she's not contributing much to this project.
I'm pretending.
But you're able to grab onto the branch, maybe like 1 or 2 below the one you're really looking for, and like hook a foot over, push yourself, like grunting and groaning and making a whole production of it. But you manage to get to a branch that you can reach your pipe from.
Yes! Yes! The pipe's the only thing there, right?
No. As you kind of angle yourself to grab it, stand to get a better look at it, you notice that your lighter is also tucked just on top, like it was placed there intentionally.
This day keeps getting better. We ain't gonna have to work for fire anymore. My lighter's up here. I'm gonna flick it a few times. Does it work?
It works.
We're good to go. Anything else up here?
Oh, that's
Just
good.
those 2?
Not that you notice. Nothing out of place anyway, it's the tree.
Today's shaping up to be a pretty good day.
And just as you say that, both of you, Mara, Melissa, above your head, you hear a loud crack. And the branch Mitch is standing on drops away. And he falls from the sky. About the 10 feet.
Whoa!
You can thank Pierce for this harm here.
Quick, both of you, do a cradle.
I'm gonna try to jump out
Sure.
of the way.
Mara's gonna jump out of the way. Melissa, are you gonna try to help catch him?
I'll try to help catch him. Yeah.
Coordination reaction.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that. Yeah. Okay.
Is Pierce over here preloading bricks?
And a care. All of this is thanks to Pierce.
Thank you, Pierce.
Melissa, you like grab onto an arm as he falls. You absorb some of the impact, but Mitch, you take 2 points of damage as you like wrench your arm like awkwardly and land hard on your feet.
I don't remember what my max health was. I was at
12.
7 before you healed us. 12? Thank you.
Mhm.
I was just looking that up. So I took 2 damage.
Yep.
Puts me at 10.
That's what you get for not stretching.
Is my pipe okay?
Your pipe's fine. You held on to it the whole way down.
Is there still a bowl loaded in it of tobacco?
Evens or odds?
I'll go odds.
There is. Look at that. A real gift from the island.
You know, I think today's gonna be a good day. I'm gonna take a long drag off the pipe.
And then the 3 of you continue uphill. Team downhill.
Woo!
So what's your plan?
Literally, I'm just heading to the wreckage to look around, see what is intact, what we can use. If there's better shelter there than the cave.
I'm listening.
For what?
Do I hear birds, insects? Maybe, I don't know, the sound of a plane flying overhead? At this point, trying to just get a sense of the normal noises of the island. Assuming it's an island.
Okay. Rook, give me intuition, vigilance. Rebecca, acumen, wit.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and spend 3 seconds to go and re-roll those 3 ones on my natural stuff.
Okay.
These are D6, right?
Yeah, they're gonna be D6s.
Okay.
Jen, just so I'm clear, if I spend the 6 seconds to remove all distress die, is that from the previous roll, or is that I roll it again?
We will just say the previous roll because that makes it easy.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and do that and just spend 6, which would put me at, if I'm reading this right, 2 successes?
It would be 1. 5s
1?
and 6s are successes.
Oh, okay.
And then the 1 took 1 away. So,
Right.
1 and 1.
Okay.
Rebecca, did you want to spend anything for anything? You said you did, right?
Yeah, 3 seconds to re-roll.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
It didn't help.
Yeah. No, it didn't.
You think you're going in the same direction that you came up the hill in? It's not like you really left a trail or footprints and it's all kind of woods, but you think probably, maybe, this is the right direction. The slope comes down, levels off just into the forest area. You remember forest area? No, just keep going forward. Rook, you definitely don't hear any planes. You hear sort of normal, quiet forest noises. There's a bug chirping here and there, the flap of bird wings off in the distance. Nothing unusual besides the fact that you're stuck on a weird island.
Okay. Do I smell... Even if there had been a downpour, there would still be the smell of smoke from all that, from the huge fire. Do I smell smoke anywhere around me?
Nope.
Curiouser and curiouser. Okay. Hey, Rebecca!
Yeah, Rook. And I'll stop and turn around to face him.
Do you smell the fire that we're looking for?
No, I was just kind of heading in the general direction that I somewhat remember it being in.
Yeah, but wouldn't we be still smelling a whole bunch of burning aircraft?
I mean, maybe it did rain blood and then rain water, apparently. And this is the first time that I've really noticed it. I'm not smelling blood either.
I hadn't thought about it, but that's a good point. Well, I hear birds, which means somewhere around here there's eggs. We could probably try to forage out of the trees, and birds, we could kill and cook eventually.
Depends on how big they
I don't know.
are.
Having personally cooked everything up to and including an ostrich, not really. If we can kill it, I can cook it.
Wait, is Rook a chef?
Yes.
Okay.
You can
I
ask him
completely
in
forgot about
character.
that. No,
You can ask me
I
in
feel-
character.
I feel like Chef mentioned it and then I forgot it.
I did.
Like as a player, I feel like I forgot that, which I did. Oh, that's right. You are a chef, aren't you? Huh. Hey, don't chefs usually carry around like a rolled up thing of knives?
It's kind of hard to get that past airport security.
Oh yeah,
But yeah,
that's true.
I would have. My knife bag was on the plane. It's a big black thing with pretty much all the tools of the trade on it. But right now, that's an awful lot like wishing for a flare gun and a boat over there. So here we are.
That's true.
Even if there would still be metal and everything of some sort in the crash area, we might be able to make a lean-to or something.
Maybe.
Put it shiny side up on the beach, hopefully to reflect the sun, maybe serve as a signal.
That, or we can just go down to the beach and do like they do in like the movies and TV shows, take a big stick and carve out help or use rocks.
A reflection will be easier to see for longer distances, but we can do that too. All right. Well, tell you what, you go that way, and I'm gonna go that way. And between us, we should be going either side of where I think the crash was.
Should be.
Right. So then it'll be. Then if neither of us sees it within, I don't know, let's say a mile, we turn and start walking towards each other while calling out.
Can do that. The others might think we're
Okay.
crazy if they hear us. If they hear us.
Fuck them. They're gonna look. We'll be crazy if we don't. If it works, we're geniuses. Albert Einstein told me one time, the difference between genius and insanity is measured only by success.
I thought that quote went a little something like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different outcome.
He also said that. Doesn't really see how that's relevant to our current situation, though.
Well, hopes and prayers, I guess.
No.
No.
Actions. We'll do actions. All right. Start walking.
All right,
Okay.
and I'm gonna. We're just gonna V off, just according to the plan.
All right, both of you give me intuition, vigilance, and I will be back to you in a minute.
You got a 1. Unfortunately, that 1 is only on my stress die.
You gonna let that happen? No! Disappointing.
I'm sorry that I don't live up to the comedic standards of the Duchess. I'm gonna take 2 seconds and re-roll those 2 die.
While he's doing, with him doing that, can I also spend 6 seconds and add a D8 for him?
You can.
Because it is a non-combat roll.
You can. So since you spent to re-roll those 2, I'm calling that 0. Because you didn't spend to remove all distress dice.
Right.
So the 2 successes that you had on your rerolled dice are going to cancel out the 2 ones that you had in your stress dice.
Hey, it's better than a
Okay.
-2.
Very much so.
Very true. Okay.
Double botch. I have never had anything positive ever happen to me during a double botch.
Not only that, but like both of those rolls, you had 1s on both your stress dice.
Oh, I understand. I'm aware of how much
Classic.
I suck right now.
That is like 12% chance of happening. All right, team upward. You continue on with your journey. Eventually, the ground levels off to mostly sand and rocks, and the occasional piece of driftwood. And you can hear the roar of the ocean just over the edge of the hill.
Are we close to where the medical kit was?
You are probably a little bit, if you try to picture it in your head, you're probably a little bit down shore from where it was. But you do remember that it was probably on the shore. Rebecca, you think, said she left it where Brooke was.
How much of the island can we see from this high point?
If you go all the way to the edge, where kind of the cliffs starts to drop off toward the ocean, you can turn your head side to side. You see probably a couple of miles in either direction before the island starts to curve away from your field of vision out toward the water. If all of you could give me acumen vigilance as you glance out toward the water.
Hole 0.
Whole lot of wet out there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Mitch and Melissa are really more focused on scanning the edge of the shore, try to figure out maybe the size of the island, look for any piers or docks or any sign that somebody's been using this for transit or travel. You guys see nothing. But Mara, your gaze is fixed outward. You think maybe off to the left of you a little further, you see kind of the darkened clump of what might be the wreckage that was on fire yesterday. But you also curiously see, maybe a mile out from the island, a line. And you're not really sure exactly where you learned about it. Maybe it was like Moana or something. But you're pretty sure that's like the line of a current. And not just a current, like where 2 currents meet. There's like a force pushing inward and a force pushing outward. And all of a sudden, like, you're pretty sure that even if you guys could, like, find something to swim to out there, it would be nearly impossible to swim off this island. Without drowning, at least.
As I'm looking down the beach scanning, I'm going to use my Dread Manifestation Dusk Sight.
Okay. So add your 6 seconds. And then I'm actually going to have you roll one more time. Because I'm going to give you something. But I just want to see how much you're going to get. So give me an intuition empathy roll.
Is this with aptitude?
I don't... What are your aptitudes?
I was just asking because it was with the ability, and I didn't remember if the ability gave me aptitude on the roll.
Not automatically,
not.
but tell
It
me what
doesn't.
aptitudes you do have.
Alright. I have Occult, Investigation, Larceny, and Negotiation.
I will say you can roll with aptitude. I will not tell you which one it is, though.
Okay, and you said it was intuition and what?
Intuition, empathy.
Two.
2. Okay. Much like in the forest where you don't know how you know the word for it. It's the veil. As the veil kind of slips away from you again, and Mara, Melissa, if any of you look over, you see his eyes are again kind of a weird matte yellow.
About the same color as the dice there on the screen.
You see in the waves, just kind of like a wispy green, sort of dodging in and out. And for a moment, it seems like all of the water is full of like this fog of green. It doesn't behave like the water does. It doesn't come up in waves or anything like that. It weaves through the water. And you know, whatever that is, whatever that thing is, you've never seen it before, but whatever it is, you saw it in the wind yesterday. Whatever it is big.
Check out over there. Do you two see it?
Is that in the same area that I saw the current?
Yeah.
You see the current as well?
Oh, I think there's some kind of weird algae living in it. It's like a
I mean,
weird green color, almost like fog coming up out of it.
I don't see any algae, but it definitely looks like we're not going to be able to try to swim out that way. Current looks
You're
too
crazy.
strong.
It's right there. Look how big it is.
What color are your eyes?
Blue.
They're definitely
Are
yellow.
they matte yellow? Yeah. They're not blue. They're yellow.
What, you
Kind
trying to
of like
tell me
a
I got
glowing.
jaundice?
No, blue parts of your eyes are yellow, not the whites.
Well, that's a bit weird. That's not normal.
And before your eyes, the yellow starts to fade away into the blue, just as you promised.
Hey, it's gone now. It kind of looked like that stuff I saw in the wind last night.
The green thing that you saw last night.
Yeah.
I wonder
Well,
if that's
apparently related to the green glowing.
Yep. Weird color things with both of them.
Mm-hmm.
What do you make of it? What do you think we should do? Do you think it's important?
Right now, I'm thinking this entire place is weird. We have luggage appearing in a cave. We have a pipe with a ladder on in a crook of a tree. And we have people glowing green in various ways or seeing green or whatever. I have no idea. I don't know.
Oh, you know, Rebecca was glowing green. We got all this green stuff showing up. I wonder if Rebecca knows more about what's happening on this island. I think we should talk to her.
I think we should. I think it might be good to see if we can find that medical kit also, since it was somewhere close by.
Sounds like a good idea.
Can I roll something to see if I can remember, like, exactly where? to
Yeah.
get there?
Acumen wit. Okay. So you look left, you look right, and you're pretty sure you see that slope down to the boggy shore, the way you got up onto the cliff last time, off to your left. And you kind of remember that if you get down to that shore, you can swim over to the bank of sand that Rook had been on. Or if you go only a little bit to the left, you might be able to see the bank of sand over the edge of the cliff, but the cliff is probably too steep for you to jump down to get to it.
I think I'm going to see if I can see from above the cliff before trying to swim across there.
Okay. So you start to head left just a little bit. Is everybody else tagging along with her? Or are you staying or going somewhere else?
Whoa, Mara, hold on.
What's up?
Rook was down there when they had the med kit, and they didn't bring it up with them. So, I'm wondering, what if the tide washed it away?
We can hope it didn't. But maybe we can see from above if it's still down there at all before trying to swim across to it.
Right, I think that's the best plan. If I remember right, if we continue along this cliff, we'll be able to see just fine.
Yeah. Are you coming with me to check to try to see down below?
Oh yeah, let's go.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I'll go too.
Okay. All of you kind of creep to the edge of the cliff, scooting toward the left, wandering along until you see what you think is probably familiar ground. You crane your heads, and you see, half buried in the sand, is sort of an army green metal corner. Still there, on the little sandbank Brooke found himself on. But it won't be there for long. The water has already shifted enough sand over that it seems half buried again.
Rook seems to be okay, and it's a bit risky going back down there. I don't think we should risk it. I think we could leave it and be okay.
But do we have things to try to heal ourselves if anyone gets hurt?
Oh, we got Rebecca.
Do you think you need it, Rebecca, or... I mean, that morphine came in pretty handy with Rook.
That is true.
Well, do we think that Rebecca was the one who healed his leg entirely? Because I know she was focusing on his side injury.
May have, but what if she's the one that's hurt?
Another problem together, isn't it? I suppose. But what if you get hurt down there and we can't get back up? Because if you hurt yourself getting the morphine, and then you have to use the morphine because you hurt yourself, well then there's no point in going and getting it.
That's a good point as well.
Yeah, I mean, Either option is valid. We can get it to self-saves, or we can self-save getting it.
I didn't even have to swim to get up the cliff. And I had a hell of a time. So I could only imagine. Plus, you'd have to do it twice. You'd have to go out there and come back, instead of just getting to the island. I don't know. The medicine would be useful, yes, but more of us getting injured is more of a hindrance, I think.
I'm gonna let you guys think that over for a little bit as you continue to argue about it staring over the edge of a cliff, watching the waves rush in, covering it bit by bit every time. Team downhill, team wreckage.
Hey?
Just as you planned, you each kind of veer off, one a little bit to the right, one a little bit to the left.
While I'm walking, I'm going to be engaging in my solace trigger by humming that song.
Okay. Okay, so you get to remove 1 minute
Okay.
automatically. You do not get any extras though.
Okay. So yeah, humming, looking around.
Okay. After a while, you both kind of start to feel uneasy. As you look around, you don't see anything that should be wrong. The birds are chirping. Insects are insecting. You don't hear any footsteps. You don't hear any voices. But you immediately regret being alone.
I'm just gonna call out it towards my right. Rook, you still alive?
Do I hear that?
You hear it.
Yeah. You seen anything yet?
No. Just eerie feelings.
Getting that too.
And as you both sort of climb through the edge of the forest into the scarred, charred terrain of the plane crash, all of a sudden you hear an explosion of birds' wings. Like every bird in your immediate vicinity has taken flight and flown away.
Found it.
Yeah.
And as you exit the tree line, this charred corpse of a plane, broken into pieces, scattered across the ground, once aflame, now no longer, is right there at the edge of the trees. You almost have to squeeze past trunks to get to it. And that feels wrong. That seems wrong.
Is this our plane?
I don't know.
Uh,
I don't think so.
Jen, I look at the tree trunks of the burned out husk. I look around it, and do any of the trees show signs of fire damage?
No. And as you look down, you can actually see tiny little saplings sprouting at the edge of the tree line.
Is this like a perfect circle clearing out
It's
of
sort of-
trees?
It's sort of an oval, like encasing the burned out husk of a plane.
Is this plane husk wide enough and big enough to have been our plane? Does this look like a jumbo jet?
It's broken into pieces. And you know this isn't the whole plane. But if you kind of
but I mean, like, it's
geometry
wide
it
enough
in your head, Yeah. Yeah, that's big enough.
Okay.
Should we start poking around, see if we can find stuff?
I'd say grab a stick just in case anything here is still hot from the fire. Having been burned so many times, you learn not to. How much of the plane if this is an impact crater, how much of the plane is visible above the surface, and how much of it is like in the ground?
Most of it's above the surface. You can see kind of some broken trees and like a carved out gouge in the earth where it slid just a little while. But it seems like it mostly kind of dropped straight down, at least a specific piece.
Okay.
That's weird.
Yeah. This looks like it's been here for a while.
A while or not?
Because even with a storm, there'd be enough metal coverage here to keep at least a little fire smoldering. This thing should still
Yeah.
be smoking, shouldn't it?
I mean, maybe? I'm not a big expert in plane crashes.
I'm something of an expert in fire. But yeah, this is striking me as all kinds of wrong.
Let's...
Is there a door or a rent in the side large enough for us to look inside to get inside the plane?
Or is it just like a giant hole, like the fuselage was just ripped?
I mean, you can see sort of like the piece of a wing off on one side, and then like the body of the plane sort of looks like it was wrenched open. Like one of those like crescent roll packages. Where it like burst at the seams. So yes, you could get inside if you wanted to.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna ask.
go ahead, Chef.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna carefully make my way over to the opening of the plane and just kind of look inside and see if I see anything in there that looks like it's gonna try to kill me immediately.
Okay.
That would be
Intuition vigilance.
okay. Oh,
It's a little
that was a
dark
close one.
inside there, but where the metal casing opens up to the skies and lets enough light in, you don't immediately see any. Well, you're not sure what you were expecting from the feeling out in the woods. But you don't see anything that's immediately going to lash out and get you. You do see the wreckage of some seats that look like they were ripped up from where they were bolted on the floor, cast aside in all directions.
Any dead bodies?
No dead bodies.
Huh. Hey, Rook, you wouldn't happen to know how hard it is to rip a bolted down seat off of an airplane, would you?
I know for a fact that. This is aircraft grade aluminum, right?
I mean,
This is
it's
the kind of.
aircraft.
I don't know if they use that inside too, but all the plane crashes you'll see, there's always still this, like, even the parts of the seats still bolted down.
Yeah. That's what the documentaries have shown.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are seats
Why?
that have been... Because looking in here, what little light I get from the rest of the splits, there are seats that have been ripped up.
This is going to sound crazy.
This whole scenario is crazy, so hit me with it anyway.
What do they look like they were ripped up by? Like, are there claw marks?
From where I'm at right now, because keep in mind, you can see me. I'm just standing at the side of
Yeah.
the plane looking in. I can't really tell. I might have to go in to actually look.
Well, anything that we might want or need is going to be in there. So,
Yeah.
tell you what, do you see any like luggage or the overhead compartments maybe?
I don't know, Jen, do I?
Evens or odds?
Evens, always.
You see the melted plastic shroud of what was probably at one point an overhead compartment. The shelf is dusted with ash. But whatever might have been there inside of there is no longer inside of there.
The overhead looks like it was melted. There's ash everywhere. If there was anything useful in here, it's long been burnt up.
Hmm. Well, there
Uh,
goes my other idea.
What was your other idea?
You remember those bags in the oxygen, like the little drop-down oxygen masks? They have those bags on them.
Yeah,
I thought if some of those were here, we might be able to use those to collect water or whatever.
yeah. I mean, the tanks might be intact.
It would take
I say fire though.
industrial. All right, Jen, if you said that we can see a wing off on like one end,
Mm-hmm. Like part of one. Mm-hmm.
would we be able to tell based upon the direction the wing is facing, whether or not like we're on the front half or the back half of the plane? Like is the cockpit all the way to one end,
Mm-hmm.
or is the tail to all the way to one end?
Yeah, which end of the fuselage do we have?
It's okay. So you
Am I making myself clear or not?
sort of, you don't see the tail end and you don't see the cockpit. So it's definitely like a middle section.
Okay.
Okay. So I mean, I didn't know if we could like try to go forward and see if anything electronic survived or like a radio.
Where you would normally be able to like walk into the cockpit area, there's just an open hole to the woods.
No wonder it burns so hot in here. This would have been a natural chimney, but
Yeah. Rook, there's another thing. If anyone died on impact, they aren't here.
well, the fire hot enough to melt the plastic, that would have burned a body, but we'd still see bones or something. Am I the only one who's starting to think that there might be something really big on this island that likes to eat stuff?
Something that likes to eat people, or maybe everyone got flung out?
I look and see if any of the seatbelts are still attached to the seats, and if so, are they buckled?
There are the few seats that are still in this plane that haven't been charred or ejected in some way. There are still seatbelts attached. None of them are buckled.
Okay. If the seat belts were
But
still buckled.
You only kind of see like maybe 1.5.
Oh, okay.
It's not like there's a sample size of 6.
Okay. I look at the gouges overhead. Do they look in any way? I mean, you said it looks like the plane was basically ripped open, right?
Popped like a croissant can.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sort of ripped open in a twist.
Twisted,
Do
pulled,
okay.
exploded.
Are
Something.
is there any sort of organic residue, scars, like skin, scales, anything like that near any of the cuts?
Does any
Because
of it kind of line up with the dream that we all had that none of us have discussed yet?
I'm not gonna lie, I am sort of dealing with the potential dragon ate my plane kind of a thing. Although to me that's much more re-entry into of an alien, but
I mean, if you both have the dream on your minds,
mhm.
maybe if the thing was big enough, it could just unfurl a plane like that. In your actual memories, you don't remember seeing anything like that. But if your
Well, I
dream is
mean,
on your mind and you're looking for claws and signs of animals, it would have to be really big. But maybe.
It's like feeling over his plan.
this just reminds me so much of a dream I had last night.
Something grabbed a plane, ripped it.
I
Kinda
think it was
dream?
more like a traumatic plane crash kind of a dream. Which, I mean, makes sense. We went through a plane crash, but
Yeah.
at this point, there's enough stuff not adding up on this island that I'm starting to think that maybe, just maybe, we need to start opening our minds to the possibility that we aren't on top of the food chain here.
Rook. And
Huh?
I'm gonna walk up to Rook and put my hand on his shoulder.
Flinch.
You forget. Last night, literally, I had a glowing heart on my chest. If
And I
anything
had a
else is not adding up, there's something not normal about this place. That
There's not
dream.
normal. What about it?
Okay. Dream about a plane crash, right?
Yeah.
Something coming up, grabbing it. Something big. Like a giant claw.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got more of an impression of like a scaly hand.
Tomato potato.
Don't you ever say something like that to me again. On so many levels, that is so damn wrong.
I can't tell if I offended Chef, the player, or Chef, the character.
No, Chef the character is pissed. Chef the player is enjoying this.
Bell peppers, black pepper. What's the difference?
A very big one.
When I get my knives, I will carve a dissertation about the difference into your back.
Anyway,
Did that come out loud?
Okay, so we pretty much had like the same dream.
Well, I mean,
that's what it sounded like.
we went through the same event.
Yeah, but that doesn't always necessarily
But
mean that people have the same kind of like
no, you're
dreams
right.
of everything.
You're right.
If we had the same dream, what are the odds that the others also had the same or similar dream?
By random chance, it would be astronomical, but I'm pretty sure you're right, given how weird shit's been.
This island, something is not right with this island. It's the only logical conclusion I can make. because it doesn't feel hot enough that we're near the equator. The trees don't look like it, but we're on what we're all assuming is an island. And this doesn't look like tropical wildlife.
It wouldn't be near tropical wildlife. You go from Atlanta to London, you're flying north. You're flying northeast.
Yeah, but do you feel how
We wouldn't
warm
be going
it
anywhere near.
is? If we're flying north, it's not going to be this warm.
Well, depends upon where we are, but
Look, I lived in the UK for 12 years. It's not going to be this warm.
okay, that's data I didn't have. I think the only real way to sum this up in my mind that makes sense is the rules have changed.
Yeah, oh, yeah, Chef. I know I'm not doing an accent, but Rebecca is actually British.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, important data.
I forgot that
Okay.
too.
Sorry. Sorry, yeah, I'm really bad at accents.
British homies, Braden and Rebecca.
Okay, in that case, all right. Well, see, my dream really reminded me more of like a space shuttle reentry. You know, like you saw in like Apollo 13 or something. You know, cold and dark, then getting hot, 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 fire,
Yeah,
and then
or kind of like
plane.
those bad alien movies.
Yeah.
Like Independence Day.
And what do you guys think about that? Back to Team Shore. You guys make up your mind yet?
Bicker, 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 bicker.
Bicker, bicker. Running over facts. Bicker, bicker.
Down there, but what do you two wants to? I won't stop you.
I'm gonna go for it.
Okay. Which way are you going?
Gonna go down the slope and then try to swim across.
Okay. Melissa, what you doing?
I'll follow my. Because God only knows that. What if she hit by another rogue wave or whatnot? So yeah, I'll go with Mara.
Okay.
Wait for you two up here. If something happens, I'll go get the others.
Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Mara, Melissa, you trace the edge of the shore back down to the little inlet you climbed out of the first night you were here. You go as far as you can on sand before you have to start swimming. Give me... Let's see. Give me a strength endurance. I don't know what god Mara bribed to just be good at everything in this game so far.
I'm not gonna complain.
It's the Nepo baby effect.
I mean, the privilege I gave
got
her,
the
it definitely fits though.
That divorce money lets you buy a lot of
I
stuff.
saw it coming.
Yeah.
All right.
Turns out in her carry-on just crammed full of like 4-leaf clovers and rabbit's feet.
Mm-hmm.
So Melissa, you start to swim, water churning around you. You barely keep your head above water. This is nothing like it was last night, but you manage both to keep from drowning and from being swept away from the shore. Mara, if you look back, you kind of see that somehow the waters around Melissa look a little choppier than they are for you, but okay, you know what? I guess you're just lucky.
I mean, the water didn't like her the other day either.
But eventually you get to the little sandbank that once contained Rook and his broken body. The very, very edge of the first aid kit, still poking up out of the sand.
I got the first aid kit. And I'll pick it up. And try to swim back over.
Give me a strength reaction, Mara. Melissa, as you finally reach the edge of the sandbank, having fought for your life in the water, out of breath, sopping wet, there's water in your ears and your nose. You don't look forward to the return trip. You watch Mara reach out, wrap her fist around the edge of the first aid kit, and then immediately her arm gets jerked down deep into the wet sand. Mara, you feel the edge of the first aid kit in your hand, but you also feel something. It doesn't feel like fingers, it doesn't feel like tentacles, but it's like some kind of force either pushing your arm down or pulling you down deeper into the sand. And the harder you struggle, the deeper you go.
I can't get out of here. Something is like pulling me down.
I'll go help. Try to wrench her free.
Mara, how would you feel about that?
Sorry, you cut out slightly.
How would you feel about being stuck like that, is what I'm asking.
Oh, I probably wouldn't like it.
I'm going to have you go ahead and take a minute.
And think about what you've done.
Everything has been going, no pun intended, swimmingly for you so far. You know everything, you can do everything, everyone else is struggling but you, but all of a sudden, this perfect day has taken a turn, and you sort of envision that if you can't get yourself free, and in this moment of panic, you're not sure how, you're just gonna end up sucked into the sand. And you've seen enough Grey's Anatomy, you can't breathe sand.
No, you can't.
And I can see them struggling, right?
From the top of the cliff, if you're looking down, you see Mara go to grab for it and then suddenly like get jerked downward. You can't really, from the angle you're at, see exactly what happened, but you get the impression things are not going as they're expected to, especially when Melissa tries to like rush forward to help.
I'm gonna sit there and start counting to myself. I'll give him 30 seconds. On 1,000. To 1,000. Are you guys doing anything while he's counting?
I'm trying to pull my arm out.
I don't think you can hear him. I don't think you can over the water.
Maybe hear like a mutter here and there.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull her out, maybe dig out the sand. It's like a suction thing.
But by this point, I've let go of what maybe little hold I would have had on the med kit.
Mara, you feel immediately the med kit slip out of your fingers. The second you release your grip, it is gone. Melissa, as you kind of launch yourself to grab onto her arm to start scooping sand, mid-step, your foot sinks down ankle deep. You don't stop though when you feel something pop in your ankle as it refuses to budge from exactly where it is. Take 3 harm for that.
Okay.
If you lunge, you can still try to scoop sand away from Mara's arm. But you're not going to get much closer, not without dealing with whatever has you.
Yeah, I will try to do my best to get Mara free.
Okay. What are you doing, Mara? Also trying to get free?
Yes.
Okay. Both of you roll me strength and toughness. As in the background, Brayden counts.
Would this be with aptitude at all?
Which ones do you have?
I have academics, drive, negotiation, and tenacity.
No. Mara, Melissa starts digging at your arm as you're trying to like wiggle it, but not so much that you sink even deeper. Your efforts combined, you can kind of start to pull your arm out. But Melissa, you're sinking a little deeper.
30. Okay, it looks
Great.
like they might need some help.
Once I get out, I'm gonna see if I can try working on digging out her leg.
Okay. You are both still working on Mara, I imagine, so give me one more roll. Brayden, how do you intend to get down to help him?
I ain't gonna be able to get down there. Let's see. The others were that way. I'm gonna look down. I'll be back. Hold on. You start running as fast as a middle-aged old man can towards the other two.
Back down the hill. Okay, give me give me coordination and endurance to not fall down the hill.
I mean, as long as he's still going down, it's still a success,
Okay.
right? Running, rolling.
Nice. Nice. Rallied by the panic that you are also sinking now, Melissa, you scoop faster. You feel the edges of Mara's fingers and you give a big, hard tug. Mara, you feel yourself pulled out of the sand and stumble backwards, landing on your butt, half in the water.
Thank you for your help.
If that would be stressful for you, Melissa, you can take a minute.
Yeah, it'd be a little stressful. Yeah.
All of that moving,
Imagine
that tugging, that
Mm-hmm.
that shifting, that one leg has sunk into the sand about to your knee.
Oh boy. Yeah. I'll start trying myself out or pull or do something. Yeah.
I'm gonna start digging at the knee, at the leg.
I won't make you roll a third time. Your powers combined eventually. Melissa, you are freed. You're kind of like your foot comes out of your shoe, leaving your shoe entirely behind in the muddy sand. But you like slip backwards into what you now feel is the somehow safer waters.
Whenever we get out of here, I'll buy you a new pair of shoes.
I'd appreciate that. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Let's.
Anytime.
I'm assuming the kid is lost cause. Should we swim back to shore?
Very much so.
Okay.
As there's a montage of Brayden just like chugging down the hill, reaching the mouth of the cave you guys spent the night in.
Knees to chest for your arms way up each.
Definitely going to save them now.
Got
Coughing
Rook
and
and
wheezing
Rebecca
through his pipe.
yelling
Yeah.
the whole way. Rook! Rebecca!
Did you call him Rock?
No, it's just the way Brayden sounds. He said Rook.
Oh.
Meanwhile, back at the plane.
That's what a 3 packs a day habit'll do to you.
Well, he smokes like a 5-pound bag of tobacco a day. He smokes through a pipe.
Bicker, run through facts. Bicker, run through facts.
Right.
A pack a day, that's too little for him. And those filters?
And that, my friend, is why Independence Day will always, always be better than Monty Python. Moving on. I don't believe that for a second. I'm just being a dick. All right.
Please address hate letters
So-
too.
Care of DM Duchess. All right, so tell you what, there's nothing up here. Do you think there maybe was anything in this like below that might have fallen out or been spared the heat?
Oh, and like the cargo hold?
Yeah. I mean, that's where most people's stuff would be. Clothes,
Yeah, but
maps.
I don't know. Because you gotta think that whole end, I'm gonna point towards the cockpit should be, is gone.
Yeah. Are you trying to tell me that you think something disemboweled our plane?
I'm thinking that the fire may have.
Can it hurt to look?
Wouldn't hurt to look. So take a look.
Jen,
The way.
I start looking down in the crater, sort of like trying to see if there's a way to see into or to get into the cargo hold.
Okay. Intuition vigilance.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, I've got 2, and I somehow am rolling nothing but snake eyes on my stress dice. I'm
Did you not?
kind of impressed at how badly I'm doing on that one.
It's impressive.
Where's the sheet I had that tells me all about how many seconds I have to spend?
That's
Should
the
be in your
clock.
handouts.
Yeah, I thought I had it pulled up, was what I was trying to say. Jen, just as someone still getting used to the system, which do you think would be better? Trying to, spending 6 seconds to remove all the distress die, or trying to re-roll all the fails on this one?
If you remove the distress dice, you have 1 success.
Okay.
If
And
you re-roll, the best you can have is 0.
Alright, bag it. I'll spend the 6 seconds. That's a 2. That turns into a 5.
Someone's added another minute.
Yep, and that puts me at 5 minutes, and that turns into a regular 1.
Okay.
Dang, I thought I was at a high amount with 2 minutes.
No!
Get on my level.
Nope.
Mitch, I have 3 minutes already myself.
Thought I
You
was,
went uphill.
zipping
We're
through
going
this.
down.
You should definitely just watch the Rust and Decay campaign because we're leveling up by the game. So you look around and there's a hole in the floor that you think at one point might have been like a latch access point. But at this point, the door of the latch has either burned away or melted or been ripped off. It's mostly missing. And there's a darkness beneath it that you think is probably some kind of cavity, some kind of compartment. If you were a cargo hold, you'd be in that direction.
Okay.
No, I'm fairly certain it's not a glow stick.
Okay. I wasn't hoping you were just getting, like wham as a flashlight, but here we are. Um, do you see any kind of like reflective surface that we might be able to like flex some light down there so I could at least get a rough idea of what I'm looking at before I just jump into a dark?
It's intuition vigilance for looking around, right, Jen?
Mm-hmm.
That's a 3.
That's really good, and I kind of want to give you something, but I mean, most of the metal
That's it.
has
But
been
we do have that
burned.
harm from Pierce directly for me.
Yeah,
Or like an emergency flashlight?
Yeah?
there is no emergency flashlight that you can see. Most of the metal that would have at one point been reflective is charred. Maybe if you could somehow break a piece off and polish it off to get the soot off of it, maybe you could reflect some light in there.
Would washing it work?
If you
We're
could
not
get a
near the
piece small
water.
enough to handle and wash it, probably, maybe.
Were there any pieces of like non-burned metal laying around outside, like possibly they got knocked off during the impact?
There are
You mean the
pieces
piece
of
that was
metal
in your
outside.
side?
Pieces that are small enough to pick up, carry, and move, but nothing that's
Okay.
untouched by fire.
All right. Me as a player asking about mechanic. If I were to take off my shirt, use my dread manifestation, and turn it into a wet rag, and then be able to wipe the soot away, would that be sufficient to be able to help reflect some light?
What fucking...
Points for creativity, I will say sure. It wouldn't be like a mirror, but you think you could probably bounce some light in there so it's
At
not
least
like
like
a
be able to see.
gaping door to the abyss.
So I'd be able to see at least a little bit.
Maybe a little bit. Maybe not very far
Alright.
or very bright,
Okay.
but more than nothing.
Yeah.
Maybe the emergency flashlights are down here. Yeah. All right. So
I'm gonna go ahead and just try to break off a piece for us to use.
I think
From
I saw
where?
some less burned ones outside.
Maybe.
I poke my head out and look around, see if I can find one that's looks approximately the right size.
Okay. I mean,
Like, too much
there's
Taco
tons of them.
Bell.
I'm not gonna make you roll for it. If you hunt around the edge of the plane, eventually you're gonna find something that seems hand-sized enough.
Okay. Boom. All right. So once we find it, I pull my shirt off and like hold it between my hands. And I'm gonna go ahead and say that my hands start glowing like a light blue. And there's like kind of the sound of trickling water. Is that sufficient enough for as an external signal, or would you need more?
No, that's fine.
Okay. And it turns into a wet rag that I try this.
Rebecca's just looking at you now like,
What?
so I'm not the only one with glowing bits today, huh?
I have never done that before in my life, and I'm not entirely certain what you're talking about.
I'm not gonna question it. I'm gonna take the handheld sized piece of metal that he just cleaned off. At this point, it's better not to question things on this island. I don't know how you just made something instantly wet, but
I have that effect on certain things.
There are ways.
You walked into that one.
oh, I know. That's why I phrased it the way I did.
Nice to know where your head's at.
Rook knows the way of the water.
One could say Rook is a waterbender.
We'll get to that. So, after handing it off and us angling the reflection, how far down does this look?
4 or 5 feet.
Is there a ladder of some sort?
Nope.
I didn't expect so. All right. Looking down in there, is it just look like a massive jumble of stuff, or is it lashed down in certain places? Doesn't shift during flight, or how is this done?
However, this area of the plane was once organized.
Mm-hmm.
It is no longer organized. As Rebecca tilts and swivels and tries to get just the best possible angle so you can get the best possible view of the inside of, what was at one point the cargo hold, you don't see as many darkish lumps that would be luggage as you would expect. In fact, there's only a handful of them. You see the dark metal charred base of the cargo hold itself, and interspersed, almost as though it's a continuation from what was happening above in the main passenger compartment of the plane. There are huge gaps in the metal where you can see dark, damp dirt underneath. Out of the dozen bags that are still in the hold, maybe 2 of them aren't charred and mangled.
I grab those 2 and sort of toss them up. Not sure what these are, but it's more than what we had. Also, after giving a little bit of examination to these gaps, do they look like claw marks?
I don't know.
Do they look like evenly spaced?
They are so far apart, these openings in the metal. Since you've seen above and you've seen below, at least part of below now, it's less of a claw mark and more of like a corkscrew. Like it somehow was twisted apart at the seams.
Okay.
And as you stand down here in this little cargo hold, you hear something far off in the darkness shift.
Ah, crap.
Is it loud enough that I possibly would have heard it up above?
Over the noise of him hauling those bags out, no.
Oh, yeah. You good, Rook?
Something moved.
Something moved? Could it have just been like suitcases falling?
Wouldn't they have fallen by now?
I mean, you did just throw 2 up here.
Yeah, but there's barely anything in here compared to what you would expect on a normal flight.
Well, come back over here to the opening and we'll try to pull you up.
Okay. Yeah, I give one last look around to see if I maybe missed anything that
Not
might
that
be
you can
useful.
see, the area of light is very small, and to either
Yeah,
side
okay.
is just pitch darkness. And you hear
I kind of figured.
another shift, like something heavy and rough dragging across the ground.
What? Doing my best not to panic. Let's go!
Yeah.
Jumping.
Okay.
Because something's
Strength.
down there.
I'm gonna say,
Toughness or reaction?
I'm gonna say toughness. We'll do toughness. Strength, toughness.
Can I spend 6 to add a 1d8 to that? Since I am helping by jumping
Yes.
to get me out of there as well?
So
Yes.
you're
Okay.
6. Can I go ahead and spend 3 as well to add a d8 as well? My own? So it
Yeah.
makes it 2d8?
Do
Okay.
D8. Sure. I should allow
So
it
that puts
teamwork.
me. Okay. So that rounds that up. That puts me at 4 minutes. Slash roll 2d8. 7 and a 4.
So 1 success. Okay. Rook, you jump. Rebecca pulls. And your feet slip out. Just as you continue to hear this sliding, dragging
Jesus
noise.
Christ!
Sliding,
You good,
dragging
Mitch?
noise. And it seems you can't
Sorry,
see.
still
You can't
choked
see
a
the
little
source
bit.
of it. But it stops just as it gets to that sliver of light. But you are safely outside of the cargo hold now.
Hello?
Hi. What the
Not
fuck?
you.
What the fuck?
If you're expecting an answer from down below, you hear nothing.
So now we can add something moving in the shadow to the list of of random shit on this island that doesn't add up.
But you have 2 bags.
We do have 2 bags.
Let's,
Open them here or take them back with us to the cave?
no. I'm not sure whose house we're in and who we just robbed, but I very much think they prefer we weren't.
Yeah.
Let's be away from here.
I'm gonna grab the nearest bag's handle and just make my way out of the plane.
Grab the other one and skedaddle.
Okay. You guys heading back to the cave?
Roughly what time is it? Like, where is the sun?
Yeah, your best guess is that it's maybe been an hour.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's not solar noon yet. That's good to know.
Yeah.
No.
Do we see any other... Do we want to go see if there's any other pieces that fell around here?
Just looking in either direction of like the rip of the plane. Our best bet for any extra stuff would probably be if we could find the tail.
That's what I was thinking.
And judging by how this came sliding in, I'm gonna guess the tail is that direction, pointing in the opposite direction of the skid.
Let's give it a shot, see if we can find anything. It's also, I suppose, possible that stuff could have been falling out as the plane was falling. So,
True.
for all I know, this place is covered with bags and boxes.
Yeah. And Jen, while we're walking to go find another section of the plane, do either of the bags we have look familiar?
They do not.
Okay. Wanted to see if we had managed to find our bags.
If you
Do
look
they
kind
have
of past
names
the
on them?
char, one of them looks like a purple kind of cloth with like rolly wheels. The other is maybe a black duffel, but like you kind of got to hold one end of it together to keep everything from falling out of it.
All right. I look at the barcodes on it because normally they'll give a destination.
Mhm.
What destination does this say?
London? Whatever. Heathrow? No, that's not London.
Edinburgh.
Edinburgh's in Scotland.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of like the
It
nearest.
says London. It's an airport in London,
airport.
the airport you're going to.
Okay.
And if you want to give me an acumen wit roll.
I do.
I would love to. Because this, Jesus Christ. Chef, how the fuck do you keep rolling all on your stress dice?
I have a lot of minutes right now.
Yeah.
Chef is taking all the bad rolls, so I don't get any of them.
Holy shit.
You're welcome. I expect payment to be delivered promptly. I can't quite make this out. Can you read that?
Oh, no, Chef. That's not
rub it
good enough.
You know what? Because I didn't let you do it last time, have at it, Jen.
Chef can no longer read.
As you
Um.
grab the little ticket to read where it's coming from, all of a sudden the letters jumble. And for a split second, you don't remember where you were going. You know you never got there. You know you will never get there. But what once were words are just lines on a page, and you sort of spiral for a second, wondering, did you die? Actually? Did you die in that plane crash? Because that would make a lot of sense. None of this makes any sense. And Rebecca, as you watch him just stare incomprehensibly at this like half torn, half burned slip of adhesive sticker paper. And go ahead and take a minute, Chef.
Only one. Okay.
Only one.
Oh, Chef's taking the minute, not me.
Not you.
Okay.
On the other hand.
I think I would stagger and perhaps fall on my butt.
That's fair.
You okay, Rick?
Like, just blank.
Rebecca, in the second you were actually looking at the tag before you were distracted. That was your flight number. This wasn't an old wreck. This was your wreck.
Yeah? How the fuck? I don't think we should have survived that. Saying that completely just out loud to herself. Looking at...
Perhaps we didn't.
What are you talking about? I still got a pulse. You still have a pulse.
Do the dead know they're dead? Would we be able to tell?
I mean,
Do we only think we have pulses because we think we're supposed to?
Well, I don't think the morphine would have worked on you yesterday. If you were dead.
Which is more likely? That none of us that no one survived that crash, and we are currently all in one or more of our collective unconscious hallucinating before we die, or we magically survived a plane crash that twisted a huge plane apart, landed safely on an island, magically healed completely overnight, and every one of us is probably going to start developing magic powers given the past several days. Excuse me, several hours. You're developing magic. Frickin' that old bastard's seeing green stuff all over. Lord only knows what the other two have got going on. And somehow, magically, I can make water come out of my hands like I'm a frickin' planeteer.
I mean, fresh water is always a useful thing.
Which sounds more likely? I'm
What's
really genuinely giving some consideration to the fact that this might be nothing but a large, extremely
Jen,
vivid hallucination.
as Rook is talking about this, I'm going to sit down next to him and I'm going to activate the Soothing Touch Dread power. So, Chef, go ahead and roll your Dread dice.
Where would I find those?
It's. Hang on here, let me actually tell you exactly what it does again. The target may roll all of their accrued Dread dice, or Distress dice, my bad, and reduce their
okay.
hand as if they had engaged in their Soulless trigger.
So Dread dice would be for 7, that's 3?
Yes, all three for those.
Jen, if you're talking, I can't hear you.
Yes.
And they're
3d4.
D4s, remember?
Yep.
Well, Rook, I've studied occult
Nope.
You still get one.
shit for writing. If this is any sort of afterlife, not one that I've heard about, and I've sure as hell not heard about people just randomly developing power outside of mythologies.
Rebecca, as you try to talk him down from this moment of panic, your chest starts to glow green again. Your voice gets soft. For a second, as your mind reaches out to touch his, you get like a flash. Just a flash of the existential dread that is running through his mind. The certainty that he is dead and none of this matters. Just a flash of it. I'll have you take 2 minutes because there are 2 hurts lined up for you.
Okay. That's gonna put me up to 7 now. Take that. Fuck you, man.
Your heart races. You
Next.
immediately break out in a sweat. And the green that was glowing on your chest cuts off immediately. You know reflexively that you did some good. The ball of tension that you felt in that second seems to have loosened a little. You don't know exactly what your power does still, but you didn't have long enough to help a lot.
Yeah. Now, Jen, if you also want me to try to roll anything involving psychology and down, I do have that as an aptitude. I also have occult shit in aptitude with a specialty in mythology.
I mean, if you want to keep talking to him, you can. Otherwise, we'll just call it what it was.
You just touched my head and gained 2 minutes. Are you sure you really want to delve into this? I have a therapist for a reason.
Well, as the saying goes, everyone needs a bartender.
And while you guys sit, talk, have a little heart to heart, we'll swap back over
Heart
to
to glowing
Team
heart.
Shore.
Wow.
Like I said, I'm not going to make you guys roll. Eventually, you're going to swim your way back to that bank. Where do you go from there?
Probably to go see where Brayden went off to. Can we hear him like yelling?
Not anymore.
He is yelling at the top of his
any sort
lungs.
of sound.
You guys hike back to where you were at the top of the cliff. And Brayden is gone.
So where do you think he went off to?
Can we-
Back to the cave?
Either that or to find can Rebecca. Can we hear him running and screaming? Do we know?
He got quite a head start. Evens
Direction
or
he-
odds?
Odds.
At first, you think it's maybe just like the sounds of birds or wildlife or something, but just carried on the wind. You hear. You can't make out the words, but it's just hoarse enough that you think maybe it's an old smoker instead of a
Other
crow or
wildlife,
something.
He went that way. Yeah. Yeah, I think I can make him.
Well, I guess let's go that way.
Yeah. Let's go.
And if you'd like,
I-
I will go ahead and say eventually you guys all meet up at the cave.
Okay.
Rebecca, Rook, you want to meet up at the cave?
Works for me.
Okay.
What's up, Mark? Okay. Good to see you made it out of there. I tried to go get help.
Thank you for the attempt.
We appreciate it.
Oh, it's with an I, Chef?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, looks like you didn't get the med kit, huh?
No, kind of lost hold of it when I was getting pulled into the sand.
That's alright, you're both okay and you made it back safe. It
So,
looks like Rook and Rebecca found something.
I found a couple of suitcases.
I have
so-
a theory.
Yeah. Quick question for you guys. Did anyone else have a... Because Rook and I already discussed this. Did any of you three also have a weird dream about the plane and some sort of like scaly hand claw thing reaching up and grabbing it?
That
It was
sounds
orange
about
and red, if I
right.
remember right.
Hey, Rook. What did you say the
Math
odds of that
ain't-
were earlier?
The math ain't mathin' because
Yeah.
two people having a similar dream is very, very rare.
5.
This is, I would say, mathematically impossible without outside intervention.
Yeah.
In my
Maybe from certain
studies,
Duchess we know.
I found the dreamlands are very, very mysterious. It could just be a coincidence.
I
Or
really hope.
A coincidence.
Oh,
prophetic.
go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, and by the way, Rook is convinced that we're all dead, by the way.
I'm just praying I'm not a figment of his dying imagination.
Well, you weren't with him when your hands started glowing blue, sir.
And I wasn't with any of you whenever I got ripped out of a plane at 30-something thousand feet.
Dead, alive, what does
Technically,
it
you
matter?
kind of were there.
We're all here.
I don't think you've given this sufficient
So-
thought.
With a needle and thread.
So, yellow eyes, green boobs, blue hands.
At least we have two normal people.
Do we need, unless we're the, what, Ranger, Pink Ranger, or Black Ranger? The two? Three?
You were breaking up for most of
You
that.
broke up real bad.
Oh, well. I just made a power joke, sorry.
I heard enough to appreciate it.
Yeah, I heard the
Yeah.
Pink Ranger, Black Ranger.
It's more Planeteers, isn't it?
I thought they had rings of. I don't know.
They had their
recycling
own
and
island.
shit. Wait, what do you guys mean by yellow eye? Like someone has a disease that's causing yellow eyes, or
Oh, they're crazy. They're saying my eyes are changing color.
Glowing tits, blue hands, unbroken leg, and the eyes is where you draw the line at weird?
I mean, you guys didn't see the plane wreckage. It literally looks like someone took like a croissant can essentially, and that's what made our plane. Like it's twisted.
It also looked like it had been here for a while.
On
Like-
that island, Bread Island, we gotta deal with the Pillsbury
And it
dough
wasn't
monster.
just-
No, it's not just
No,
a
like-
random one. The tags, and I'll hold up the suitcase and the tag sticking out. It's got our flight number on it.
Anything
And-
useful?
Don't know how
We
to look
haven't
through
looked
them
in the
yet.
bag yet, because when I was down in that cargo hold, I was not alone. I didn't see what it was because, inside of a plane wreck, but there's something in there.
Well, no doubt it's in the wilderness. They probably
Okay.
smelt some of the wreckage, some charred food, something in there.
Uh,
Maybe they want the fabric for a nest. It's also a good hiding spot.
Yeah, but there were no bodies,
yeah. There was
no
no
bones.
nothing.
Maybe they got pulled into the sand, like they tried to do to
Yeah.
Melissa and I.
Possibly. I wouldn't know. I wasn't there, but it
Wait,
just...
hold on. You guys found quicksand?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I knew it would be a problem as we got old.
So help me, if we wind up to be in the Bermuda Triangle,
We've already discussed this though, Rook. It's not tropical enough. Like foliage-wise.
glowing tits, blue hands, yellow eyes, unbroken leg, raining blood, plane that's been here an awful lot longer than we have.
It rains spiders in some countries and fish.
As long as it doesn't rain spiders here.
That's not raining, that's ballooning. That's how, yes, spiders can fly. Everybody knows it. Deal with it.
As long as there are none of that here.
I'm unwilling to try to make you that promise.
Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and set down the suitcase I'm carrying and try to open it. And see what's in there.
Sure.
Same.
You guys spend a few minutes going through the suitcases that you rescued from the plane. In the purple one, there are a collection of women's clothes, sort of medium to large size range. There's a bottle of Tylenol. There's some more toiletries. There is an electric toothbrush. And there's a journal. In the black suitcase, the duffel bag that was half held closed, you will find a small first aid kit, just some band-aids and Neosporin, some more clothes, men clothes this time, several pairs of socks, a lot of socks, like way more socks than this person probably should have packed. There is several bags of snacks. There's a big, like, party-sized bag of chips. There's some pretzels. And there's some jerky.
What in the unhealthy frat boy diet?
At least it's food.
Why would you... You can't get this in the UK, can you?
We have chips. Well, let me phrase that. We have
Yes.
crisps.
So your chips are made out of, they're baby French fries. Don't get me started on the food over there, man.
Yeah,
you guys
you got
conquer
it,
half the
man.
world looking for spices, and you don't know how to use a single one of them.
I'm going to stop him from going off on that,
with
and
naming the food.
we are going to call it a night as you go through what you're able to scavenge from the luggage, divvy it out amongst you as well as you can. You will somehow, by some fortune, be able to each find a change of fresh clothes. And at least something to eat for right now.
Keep in the journal. It's mine now. I'll fight you for it, Mitch.
To read or to write in?
To write it.
Perfect.
This is going to make a hell
With
of a
what?
story.
Listen, if
With
it's
what?
already written in, that might be important.
Bird shit if necessary.
Maybe.
Braden's
Dear
after
Diary.
journals that are already written in.
Great job, everybody! That time kind of flew by, didn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it did.
Not bad for Wednesday.
No.
Hey, it's my favorite part of the night. This is the part where you guys say nice things about each other. Hey, Ashley, go.
Fuck, I don't know. I spent most of the night
If you
arguing
really,
with-
really want to, you
arguing
can
with-
do more than one because honestly, I'm not given any perks for it.
Oh, I thought we were adding minutes for it. I gotta give it to Chef for just our bicker and banter in the plane about potato.
Perfect. Mitch.
I gotta give it to Melissa for being the backbone, getting Braden his pipe, and at least one little hit of tobacco that was left in there. And we got the lighter now. That lighter's gonna be so useful. If Braden would have just made it to them while they were still in the plane, but he wasn't quick enough.
Nope. Gee.
I'm gonna give it to Braden for attempting to run and get us help. You actually tried to help us, which I was not expecting.
Look at him grow already. Lou.
Personal growth.
I'm gonna give to God, Chef your rolls. I'm so sorry you know all that terrible pain. I'm very so sorry. Hopefully next time your rolls will be better.
Just evens out, maybe.
But
I love how, like, I'm pretty sure every one of Chef's rolls tonight. Oh, no. No, that's Braden. Never mind. I'm pretty sure every one of Chef's rolls had all ones on his stress dice.
Yep. Yep.
I don't know how I did that.
It's impressive.
I'd like to call Roll 20 about their RNGs.
Play the lottery, my friend. Chef,
play the
you
lottery.
and
Why?
props
So I
to.
can epically lose? With that numbers, I'm gonna end up owing them money.
The scales,
Oh,
they're tipped.
man. I've gotta give it to Ashley, just for the whole trying to be reasonable, trying to be the voice of calm, and getting completely burned just by touching my existential crisis.
Yep.
And definitely an honorable mention to Matt for fantastic timing on the take that.
Right? That was so loud.
I don't
He's
know
not
how my
even
mic picked it up.
He's not even playing, and he's still getting commentary. I love it.
I am going to, as a gift to all of you for making it through the second session, give you a choice.
Uh-oh.
You can either add a stress. And remember, it is only through these minutes that you can level up. Or you can remove a minute. Add one or remove one.
I'm adding. I don't have to think about
I'll
that
add.
one.
adding.
Add.
That's a tough choice, you know. I don't want my rolls to suffer.
DM Daddy
Is it-
says,
I'm at
add
4.
cowards.
I'm at 4 right now, Mitch. I don't want to hear it.
Fine, I'll go up to my third
Cool.
minute finally. All right.
All right.
Only your third
7.
minute?
Screw you.
I'm at
What-
8 minutes.
wait,
I have
what's
4
she at?
distress.
Yeah, what?
4.
Two is just
You're at
one.
4.
Or yeah,
Okay.
2 minutes is one distress, and then every even after that adds a distress.
Yeah. I will say that
So that just means we need to add more minutes.
if you happen to tick over an hour mid-game, you can level up immediately. So, as you creep up there, just start thinking about what you want to do with that level up. The second level up will give you 2 dots you can use for really anything. Anything you want.
And just making sure all of our dread manifestations, whenever we hit an odd number hour, are handled by you, right? Okay.
And
Because that's
would
my
we-
goal. Is...
okay, not to be pedantic here, would we get access to the dread manifestations that game as well?
If the game in which you hit level 3, yes. It may take me a minute to add it to your sheet, but yes.
Okay. Just
Yep.
checking.
A maximum
find out.
of 1 level up per game, though. Just so you know.
We'll be at session 3, so does that mean we can level up to 3?
No, take more risks. I don't know what to tell you. All right. Thank you
I
guys.
got my ass kicked by a tag!
You did. That was great. Thank you guys for
I can tell
playing.
you
Thank you
enjoyed
everybody
that.
for joining us tonight. This has been session 2 of the Midnight World's Snare Island, read by me. You can see episode 1 if you missed it on YouTube, or you can see any of our previous episodes for any of our previous campaigns, including the brand new games this season, including this game, Daggerheart, and Demon the Fallen coming up on Friday on YouTube. If you're still here with us and you haven't yet, it'd be super cool if you could like and subscribe. YouTube likes that. We have to please the YouTube. Or you can join us on Discord if you want. Just hang out. No pressure. Have fun. Most of us are pretty active there. We just like to share and be a part of our little community. And finally, no pressure. For real, no pressure this time. We have a Patreon. If you like tossing us $1 a month, you can join. We also have special tiers with special rewards, including like access to the members only chat, merch, redeems. Like if you were joining us here in Twitch, you might have seen people cash in free redeems, weighted voting when it comes to new stuff, possibly guaranteed spots in the upcoming games, all kinds of stuff. So it'd be cool to see you there, or on Discord, or in the YouTube comments, or wherever it is you show up for us. We really appreciate you hanging out and joining us. I am your DM Duchess, JenOfThieves, and we have been joined this evening by Ashley the Everything. It's just what I'm gonna call you. Playing Rebecca, Mitch playing Brayden, Chi Chai Tea playing Mara, Chef playing Rook, and the Lou Shack playing Melissa. We hope that you join us again next week for episode 3, or like anything
Friday.
else. Anything else. You can catch us Friday on Twitch for Daggerheart, or well, I've already been through that. You guys have a good night. Have a good Thursday. We hope to see you soon.
I feel like we need to make Jen a script.
No! Stream of
Why?
consciousness only. Let's go. I'm no coward.
Ma'am, I don't think your ADD allows for that.
That's true.
I feel
Everything's
like
moving and I don't know
everyone-
what's happening. Good night, you guys.